Alright, when we left off... we had just created this little beauty. Now let me think. I'm trying to remember where I set everything. I think I set my house around here in my last save. And the next island was off in that direction. On one of these islands, we're going to find a compass. That's going to make navigating much easier. Also, don't worry about any the sail or anything. It's pretty much indestructible. Luckily, sailing is pretty easy. Just press E, and press forward. And we're off. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's much faster than trying to swim anywhere. Watch out for that sand dune. Or trying to use the life raft. Another stingray. I killed your friend! Sorry! What will his round object companion be named? Cupel? Seems appropriate. Now, as we get around here, you're probably going to notice we might need to discover another island first. Well, for one, the raft has a tendency to veer off to the right, but also the map... oh, see that? That is the border of the Fog of Discovery. And we passed right through it. This is very foggy. A little creepy. But as long as we keep going, the fog will dissipate, and the island will reveal itself to us. There we are. And there's the next island. Okay, so this is just a smaller one. Don't think there's going to be a shipwreck here, but you get the idea. Be a good place to stock up on some lashing. Oh, there's a shark. Didn't seem to care about us, though. And there's the music. When the music comes along, it means a shark has noticed you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming after you. It's a good idea to drag the raft up onto dry land. It's nice that the moisture of the sand actually tells you how far up the tides go. So, the raft will be fine. It won't wash away from us. What is the name of the skeleton Vice finds? Now, if I remember correctly, there's a snake on this island. So I need to be careful. I don't need to worry. I don't think snakes are poisonous. It'll just bite me. Or I guess venomous is the right word. But it'll bite me. It'll hurt a little bit, but it won't be recurring damage. Might also be nice if I could find a tarp or another bucket. And there's a koala fruit. This is the one, I believe, that recovers both health, hunger, and thirst. Oh yeah, I think Gonzalez is the name of the skeleton. Alright, so... then our buddy that I just killed will be named Gonzalez. Boing. Nice, we got a full stack of lashing. And maybe even some more. And there's a bucket. Rain, I feel like, is limited to one sector at a time. So, even though it rained on our island, the bucket didn't care. Although the bucket might not have even been spawned in, technically. Not quite sure. So like that, we're already full up in the inventory. The fruit's probably going to go bad. And we're not making a farm plot anyway. It's just a waste of resources with how long it takes. So I'm just going to go ahead and eat this. So let's be sure. Yep, refills both. Okay, I've got 4 sticks. I can carry a few more, so let's bring them along. You can't eat the crabs, you need to skin them and cook them first, though. Now, because we're already full up, nice, we can see our island from here. We're gonna head back. And dump off our stuff, and then we'll rest, save, and continue. Good luck willing. Yeah, we're getting a bit of a bumpy ride. This is what I was talking about when I said, avoid watching this if you get motion sickness. Because you will probably get motion sickness. Yep, there are crabs on every island, really. The unique things are wild boars and snakes. Luckily, we didn't get a snake on either island so far. So I'm trying to remember. There are different, I guess, miniature biomes, depending on what island you get. In one of these directions is an island with a bunch of craggy rocks, sort of like miniature mountains. We can't get on the mountains, but it's a signifier that there are different plants there, and there were some crashed ships there. Yeah, I can't imagine this would be too bad in comparison to what it could be, but I put the warning just to be safe. Sharks do not care about me right now. I like from a distance, we can actually see the water meter from the solar still. Let's move the raft to a different side of the island. That way I'll know where I want to go next time. Once you've got at least one island set, we can sort of use that as a Ursat's compass before we get an actual compass. So I know that's one direction. The islands aren't mapped out randomly. They are in specific angles, as you could say. 90 degrees, 45 degrees, there will be islands there. And tarps. Which will mostly just be used for building walls, really. Because one tarp covers an entire wall in your house. It is unnervingly quiet. A lot of the sound effects are really quiet, too, when you're using your axe. We'll sleep, so it's a little closer to daylight, so that by the time that we reach the next island, it should be daytime for us. I'll gather some coconuts when we get there, so I can drink out of them. Where'd our stingray go? Oh crap, I think he disappeared. Oh no, there he is. Wow, he was really well camouflaged. Here, you can be part of the shelter. Alright. Full speed straight ahead. I am facing the wrong way. Let's go. Too bad we can't use our watch, or really anything while we're on the raft. Or at least while we're hanging onto the sail. I'd need to let go. And we got a buddy following us. I said the game makes sharks scary again. After playing it as much as I did and never having a shark try to knock me off the raft, it's not quite so. But yeah, the game is unnervingly quiet, which I guess adds to it. We are back in the fog of discovery. Maybe we'll discover something nice. Ooh, this should be one of the good islands. That's what I was talking about. Look at those giant trees. It is still in beta. If anything, it's early access on Steam. Those giant trees we cannot chop down. They're just there. I think that rock will anchor it in place. There's a snake. It's a night snake. And I got it. Oh no! It's still alive. It's got a spear sticking out of it, but it's alive. Give me my spear back, you piece of shit. Alright. Fine, you're gonna be that way. Here's the pine trees. It's like the ficus, except it actually grows back. How much did it take off? Took off a couple bits of health. But I think we'll be okay. There we go. That was silly. We don't get leather from the night snake. Or hide is the word. But... ooh. We'll leave that there and we'll come back for that. We do get meat from the snakes. Yep. Oh, could this be the island with the duct tape? So you find these little bits of broken ship. That's a sign that down here somewhere, there's a toolbox. Yes, this is a duct tape. Nice, so that's the one bit of item, or the one bit of the motor for the motorboat that is not on the other island. So when now that we've got that taken care of, we can find the other island and build a motorboat. Also, we can find corrugated scrap. That's another building material. Gonna grab some necessities. Then I need to remember before we leave to go back to that bucket. Actually, I can drop one right now. And that'll also fill up with water. There's a lot of ways you can take care of yourself. Some of them slightly cheap, but who cares? You say that, Chibi. All I'm thinking of is how this game is pretty obviously inspired by Rust. And the biggest problem with Rust is the multiplayer. Specifically, everyone else. Everyone's a complete shit in that game. So, like, a multiplayer with very specific servers, where you sort of choose who shows up, so you can actually play with friends, that would be cool. Like Rust, where you're dropped down in just an area with a bunch of assholes who destroy your stuff. Not so much. There's some more yucca, too. Before everything just disappears. Good idea to go into the inventory, or the crafting screen, and make some more lashing. Here's the bucket. And it's full up. You don't need to worry about your health too much. It automatically goes back up as long as you're in good shape. I'm going to try something here. The sticks don't weigh too much, if anything at all. So the raft should be able to hang on to them. And we do have a slight problem. It's ever so slightly foggy, so I can't actually see the other islands now. And another bucket of fresh water. We're getting pretty lucky here. Gonna try to make at least one more lashing, and then I'm going to put some sticks on the raft, and I'm gonna see if they're going to be able to hang on while I head back. Gonna risk it. One more stick. Now I'm gonna try to drag it back out. See, this is what I was talking about. Oh, there it is. You can just barely see it, but since I took care of all the tall trees, there's no real landmarks to detect it. Just dragging it out to the water is treacherous. Oh, hello. Hi, friend. You gonna try something, you little bitch? If this guy's anything like the tiger shark in my other game, he's gonna stick around. And he decided not to stick around. Anyway, where were we? It's facing the wrong way again. Don't get stuck on the sand dune. It didn't. I'm going to sail backwards because I can. Oh no, wait, it's correcting. Never mind. It's nice that the controls and the camera are independent, so I can steer this and still look around. Everything's good. Got 4 sticks. As long as this thing doesn't tip over, we'll be good. Can't tell if it's the water or the extra weight, but our raft is bobbing and weaving a little bit. You know, maybe the shark is just playing fetch. And we're stealing the sticks, and he doesn't appreciate that. You look off in the distance, you can see fog discovery from the other sectors. Slightly unnerving. I can Moonstone cannon a shark. We run aground. And we still have 4 sticks. I call that a success. Let's drop the duct tape. Actually, I get the feeling the island is in that direction, so I'm going to want to hang on to the duct tape, actually. But we can drop the scrap. Hanging on its side, again. And we got 7 lashing from that. That is a good haul. God damn it. Achievement unlocked. Bullshit transport. And you know, that palm didn't come back, did it? Maybe I was wrong, and we'll never see it again. Another thing we can find in shipwrecks is an air tank, which makes going down and exploring underwater a little bit easier. Oh shit. That's another shark song. As soon as you hear that, don't stick around in the water. They can drag you under. I don't think they can reach me in this sandbank, though. I don't see it at all. Which is going to be a running theme. You're going to hear the music, and you're not going to be anywhere near a shark. And I do want to make another cloth. Just so I have it. Never needed to use it, but if I do get attacked by a shark, I'm going to need a cloth and a lashing to make into a bandage to heal the bleeding. To wrangle a shark. No, if you want a shark, you're going to have to jump into the water and just straight up kill it. It would rule if we could wrangle a shark, though. And there's an extra cloth. Let's go ahead and craft that into a bandage. Right now, I don't think we're at risk of getting hurt by a shark, but it pays to be safe. This will probably be another section I edit out. Moonshark cannon. Castaway's Wrath. How's the stingray getting up there? It must be a thing there once I spawn in from a new side of the island. It just sort of moves around. He looks so alive. Oh, it's a bat. Let's get another mascot. That did not work. That did. So what do I name this buddy? Our flying friends. Bruce. Gonzalez and Bruce. I like that. Let's get some rest. Not very tired, but we can do with a nap. And save. So that's the big island. That's one of them. Then the next island I want to check out should be in that direction. 4 days on the island. I have constructed a shelter out of some sticks, a stingray, and a bat. I am ready for everything. Actually, you know what? We might be able to make that other still. The water distiller. Except there's kindling in the way. Kindling in the way. She moves. That's better. Now we can leave. Actually, how thirsty am I? I can use this entire bucket. My top shape. Leave that in the water distiller. Take this other empty bucket. Yeah. And then just go wander off into the ocean. Or I could drop it. Now it's full of seawater. 5 full servings. Put that on the spit. Like what I just did. Into my microphone. We need to fill back up the campfire. But now, when I light the campfire, it'll evaporate the seawater, which will rise up onto the tarp, and then drip down into the other bucket, where we'll get fresh water. It's a good system. And we've got 10 servings of water on hand anyway. I am not remotely hungry, so I'm not going to worry about that. I think we're ready to go to the next island. So where is the big one again? There it is. So we're going to head off in that direction now. Hang on. I know my priorities. Not to worry. Not to worry. That's that I can drag it with my feet. Lift it up and throw it. That didn't work. That did. Now let's try it again. It's easier to drag it from the side rather than try to push it. Game doesn't seem to want to do that. There it is! You all saw that, right? So now that I'm standing on the raft. We're near the rocks. I did save, so I'm not too scared about... What in the hell? I'm not too scared about getting attacked by a shark. Well, I think that's wrong. But oh well. I was right. The palm did eventually come back. We're just never going to see it again. You guys will see it later. It was very brief. Like, it popped out of the water, one of the fronds, very briefly, and then it just fell back down. I'm afraid we've lost it forever.